genius comes to a world of magic as science and the arcane combine to make marvels. Meet steampunk inventors and orc mystics at the Volsun Hub on beastsofwar.com. Fight for the Iron Kingdoms as a warcaster. Take control of the mighty jacks, arcane devices, and dark sorceries to bring the fight to the War Machine Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hey everybody, Sam here, also known as Mr. Stainless 001, and we are back for another episode of Total War Warhammer. First of all, thank you to all you guys for giving me such a warm welcome to Beasts of War last week in my video. It's greatly appreciated and really cool to see you guys actually enjoying me playing through this game and enjoying this game in general, because I think it's pretty awesome. First of all, I actually want to point out that I am reading all of your comments, reading all of your feedback, and I'm taking it on board. And I'm going to try and just slow things down a little from here on in and be a little bit more chill. Because last week it felt like, you know, the starter pistol went off and I just sprinted from start to finish of that Let's Play. So I'm going to slow it down, be a little bit more calm, and we'll just have a conversation while we chill and play this game. So boil a kettle, make a cup of tea, grab a biscuit, preferably a chocolate digestive, and come on, grab a seat. We'll go through this. Before we go any further, I want to actually read out a couple of comments that you guys left on the Beast of War site and on YouTube for the last video, before we get into the real nitty-gritty of what I'm achieving in this week's episode. The first one comes from Darren2961. Really love this game. Was a big fan of Shogun and the Rome Total War series of games. Combine this with the proper Warhammer setting and it makes this so addictive. Just the Bretonnians and the Wood Elves / Beastmen add-on to do now. Only downside is I seem to spend more time on this than painting and playing my armies these days. And that's obviously, that is also really cool, but that is always the problem, is like whenever we play a game or find another medium that really captures something that we're passionate about, it's super easy to just get lost in the new medium of it. But hopefully, Darren, hopefully these games are actually teaching you different tactics, skills and playstyles that you're able to bring into your tabletop game as well. Hopefully. Let me know down in the comments if you're watching this one as well. I would love to know. The other one comes from Sitesh. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Sorry if it isn't. I play Bretonnians since last weekend. I started new because there are so many things you have to look after during the starting phase. First of all, get rid of those greenskins as soon as possible. I managed it in 2 rounds after the debuff appeared. That is impressive, by the way. GG to you, sir. Second, military allies are no reason for not getting confederated. After 90 rounds, I was confederated with nearly every Bretonnian faction, only Carcassonne denied. Again, it's bloody impressive. Well done. You need a quick victory over Marienburg, because if it takes too long, they flee into confederation with the Imperium, as they did during my besieging attempt. That is a pain in the ass, by the way, and that's something you do need to keep an eye out on. Whenever you are laying a siege to factions like Marienburg, you got to keep an eye on those things. Keep an eye on their relations with the Empire, with other factions that they could go into a confederacy with, because that is a pain in the ass. Fourth, your men-at-arms are better than their reputation. I won a battle against Marienburg with far less troops, but because my men-at-arms hold their ground, it was possible for me to get behind the lines with my knights. Again, brilliant tactic. It's a case of, and this goes whether you're playing Total War Warhammer, if you're playing another one of the Total War games, or if you're just on the tabletop as well. It's know the strengths and the weaknesses of your units, know what they're good at, and have a couple of pre-made plays up your sleeve as well. It never hurts. I did play the other factions as well, but there is no bigger disadvantage for the Bretonnians than the peasants. The other factions can place armies at every spot needed as long as they can pay for it. My Bretonnians are rich, but with only 2 or 3 real armies around, it is not easy to counter every threat in time. And that is incredibly apt for what we are going to experience today. So as you'll see, Luen Leoncoeur has got onto a boat and just decided to go north. Basically what I was doing here is that in order to get kind of my stage 1 victory achievement, I need to increase my chivalry, and the way that I increase my chivalry is by doing chivalrous deeds, as you would guess. So I knew that I was at war with, I think it's the Skelligs, who are up here in the north, where near where the Norscan tribes are, and I knew that, okay, we have this kind of peace, uneasy peace, and I think we have a non-aggression pact as well with Marienburg. I think it's just the peace that we have. But either way, we're not at war with Marienburg right now, and that was a decision that we made last episode because I wanted to buy us time to increase our strength and prepare for the inevitable war with Marienburg. And I kind of thought, look, you know, if I sail north, there's bound to be some stuff I can do. Even if I raid, you know, that's something. Or alternatively, I may be able to take over some new territories, gain some new resources, more wealth, more land, which means more peasants, which in turn means that we can raise larger armies. We've came across these guys up in the north. Yeah, it is the Scalings. As you can see, we raised one of their settlements, which gained us some chivalry, but they're basically, you know, we're not going to be able to go much further with taking territory or raiding or raising their settlements, because they are catching up with us, really. They're on land, and I don't want to go into open warfare with them either. We have finished some technology, though, which means that we can now invite the Lioness faction into the Confederacy, which we will. Hopefully they agree, because this would really help our position. We'll throw a pile of money at them. And they accepted. Of course they did. Who isn't going to turn down that money? One thing I do find frustrating is that whenever you take over a faction, or like go into a confederacy with another faction, this is in all the Total War games, you don't get their treasury. And that's frustrating. So, okay, we are not at war with the undead, kind of the undead barons here, just to our south. We are going to be in a lot of debt if we don't get rid of this army, which is a shame because it would be nice if we were able to keep these troops, but we got to keep ourselves in a profit and equally bring down the peasant economy value as well. So we're at 12 for 12, which means that everything is going to be running smoothly. Get some new technology, but basically I want to keep pushing north with Leoncoeur, see what we can find up there, see if there's anything that we can take, any resources that we can obtain, while at the same time trying not to forget about the homeland, what's going on in Fair Bretonnia as well. Yeah, we'll go for Death's Grip Decree. I think that'll be useful, which will kind of give us a little bit of a buff, a little bit of extra support whenever we're fighting against the undead. I'm basically trying to plan ahead in that, knowing that I'm going to have to fight against these undead factions at some point soon, so I might as well start planning for it now. But you are going to see a little bit of a kind of when you're up against it tactic from me today. Playing Total War is a lot like playing chess, really. You've got to always be 1 to 2 to 3 steps ahead and always have a backup plan. Always have a plan B, always have a plan C, because chances are this game is going to make you use them. Okay, let's go back up to Leoncoeur, see how he's doing up here. So we found the Longship Graveyard. We don't want to go into a battle with these guys with their full army, because I don't really want to lose any men, and I can't gain any territory up here. We would just be raising their settlements, which is useful, but I don't really want to do that. So Bay of Blades, we're kind of into neutral territory here, which is probably like as far as we can go. And this is kind of my downfall. I'm incredibly curious in games. I've been finding this a lot. I've been playing Starbound quite a bit, and I find that as well. You know, you go deep into a mine and you just feel like you keep on going even though it's probably not safe. And this is exactly what the worst thing that could have happened is Marienburg decides, hey, let's go to war. So cue a few moments of panic from me. The Artois faction want a defensive alliance, so I say, hey, you know, how about you just join the war against Marienburg? You don't like them. I'll give you some money. Because obviously, I believe that throwing money at something makes it go away. They said, no, I'd rather have a defensive alliance and I'll pay you 900 coin. So I kind of thought, yeah, that makes sense. Because if we're in a defensive alliance, I'm being attacked. So then they should come to my defense. You know, it should be easier for me to convince them to attack Marienburg. We'll see how that turns out. But cue me coming up with my plan B. So Leon Kerr is really far away, and he is my only kind of viable army right now because we've only got like 4 units down here in Lyonesse, which isn't going to be massively useful to us. So instead, what I decide to do here is actually upgrade Couronne, because if we upgrade it, we have a larger garrison. And if our garrison is large, then it should be able to stave off an attack from Marienburg. As you see, Marienburg are sending a hero in. It's kind of like a preemptive strike, and they're sealing their main force up the river, which is a full army. We're looking at about 20 units, I would say, at this point. I don't believe we have that in our settlement. Leon Kerr is still probably about 4 to 5 turns away from reaching our settlement. So I'm going to make him go onto land, which is going to annoy the Nordlanders because we're trespassing their land, understandably. So we're going to try and get out of their land as quickly as possible so that they equally don't declare war on us. But this is what we were waiting for. This is what we wanted. We just gotta run with it now. And I believe that we handle this pretty geniusly. I'll let you guys decide on that. Let's see where we go. So we'll just wait. Marienburg hasn't done anything this turn. So let's get Leon Kerr into march stance, which means that he travels like twice as much. Twice the distance, sorry. Now, as you'll see, we are now in Marienburg territory. Marienburg have a settlement here called Gorsel. So Marienburg only have 2 settlements, Gorsel and Marienburg, right? Now, Marienburg is betting on the fact that they could take Couronne quickly. I am betting on the fact that they won't, because I need to buy myself time. Time is incredibly important to me right now. And Marienburg have done exactly what I needed them to do and lay siege without attacking. So I will have approximately 6 to 8 turns before my settlement garrison starts to suffer attrition. As you can see, we've got maybe about 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, about 14 units in Couronne against 20. It's still not enough. Leon Kerr, we're going to keep marching him towards Gorsel, because if we can get Leon Kerr to take Gorsel, we half the territory that Marienburg has and equally take away some of their revenue streams. Now, if we take away Marienburg's revenue streams, they're not going to be able to pay upkeep on their army, which means that they're going to start to go into debt, which means that they're going to start to panic, which means that they're probably going to lay off the siege. Now we're going to march our Lyonesse army up and start increasing the units they have. We've saved up enough money that we can do this, but it's going to really put the outbalance our peasant economy. But I think we can do. I think it's okay. I think we'll be able to handle this, and we need to be able to handle this in order to finally deal a decisive blow to Marienburg here, because this right here is our opportunity to turn the tide on Marienburg, to finally get rid of them, to take the territory they have, and really solidify our position here. So the hostile hero activity has failed, which means that our army can move on unhindered. What I'm going to do is not attack Marienburg's army, but instead just move them into the vicinity of Couronne, which means that if Marienburg's army attacks either one of us, we'll be reinforced, as well as recruiting 4 units of simple cavalry. Now, Leon Kerr is now in range of Gorsel, which is unprotected. This is the thing. If we can take Gorsel and move on, I don't think we'd be able to, but if we took Gorsel and moved on, we could be able to take Marienburg, take all of their regions, and then just try and finish off their army. That's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. But if it did, it would be pretty cool. So, we've now taken their region. We will occupy it because we do want to own this territory. We don't want to piss the people off. Okay, that's fine. So, with that done, let's see what Marienburg do. Will our plan have worked? Yes, it did. Marienburg's army have broken the siege. They're panicking and they're feeling, okay, crap, we've just lost a territory. We need to run back to Gorsel. We need to take it back. We need to strengthen our position again. And that's exactly where we want them. We've got Marienburg's army on the run. Artois want a military alliance. Clear off, Artois. We don't care right now. We're taking... You didn't come to our aid at all. We're taking down Marienburg. Now, this is where we have a dilemma. So, Marienburg's army is in the river. They're only going to be able to cross the river and beach in their next turn. Adelhard does not have the units to take on his army. Equally, Luen-Leoncoeur may just be within reach. So we now have the opportunity of, do we press forward and try and take down their force, pinning them in the river, or do we try and force on to Marienburg? Do we just try and reinforce our position because we are losing money? Our peasant economy is completely up the left right now. We'll just have to wait and see. Will I be able to defeat Marienburg once and for all, or have I completely misjudged the situation, and will it lead to my ultimate and inevitable downfall? Folks, you're going to have to wait until next week to find out. But folks, that is where I'm going to leave it for this week. And leave you in a little bit of suspense. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this week's video. If you have, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I do really value your opinions of this series. And continue to tell me about your valiant defeats, victories, and experiences in the game as well. I love reading about those. It's an awesome to hear and learn from your mistakes as well in the nicest way. But folks, thank you so much for watching this. Hope you're having a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.